Franchise dealers are facing all sorts of challenges at the moment: economic uncertainty, a shrinking market and Brexit, competition from online sellers and changing consumer behaviours. Now there's all sorts of services out there promising to help dealers make increases on their bottom line, but which one to choose? So we've come today to Automotive Management Live to find out what it is dealers are actually finding difficult in these trading conditions and what solutions are best for them. Right, to find out the big picture, we spoke to our boss Steve Nash, who used to be a commercial director for BMW. So we asked him, what exactly have dealers got to get to grips with?
I think the issues dealers are facing at the moment, I mean, in very simple terms, is a market that's turning backwards. And there are lots and lots of external factors, some of them just economic, some of them, we know the issues around diesel and so on. But look, whenever the market does this, and it always does this, it doesn't matter what the reasons are why the market turns. When the market starts to turn, people start to look very, very closely at their business, and it kind of becomes about marginal gains. There's no silver bullet that can solve a market that's going south. I mean, bottom line is, let's keep it in perspective. I mean, this year's still going to be around a 2.5 million market, which a couple of years ago would have been a record market. So it's but the situation is one where you have to start to look at everything you can in your business and see where you can do it just that little bit better. I think that's why people are here. Because if you look around, there's lots and lots of people with lots and lots of different forms of expertise, and people are here kind of seeing where they can get help. And from the IMI's point of view, to be blunt, we're here evaluating this event and saying, is this something we should be part of in the future? And I think, probably we will be, because we know that we can be part of that solution.
We've come out with something called Smart Image, and it's part of See It Now Web and Smart Image. We've had a web video app for a while, and that's really about giving the consumer an opportunity to view a short video of a vehicle on a website, and from that kind of, so it's sort of an extension to the photography. But in actually having a conversation with Inchcape as it happens, we realised that there was a real problem with photography. At the moment, traditionally what happens is a photographer will turn up on site at a dealership with an SLR camera, take some photos, which is all great, but then you'll wait potentially up to 7 days for that vehicle to have photographs. And in reality, if a vehicle hasn't got photographs and it's online, it's not really for sale. So what we've done is we've come up with an app where we've created a brand wizard. So they've got 9 different brands, so every single brand is represented in the app. So you can literally be guided on how many images, what images you need to take, and it's literally done there and then on the app, and then uploaded to the website within a couple of hours.
Now, making a profit from selling cars, whether it's new or pre-owned, is increasingly about squeezing out small marginal improvements from what are very small margins on the sale price. So efficiencies in logistics and stock control and finance are all important.
Dealers are continually under more and more pressure for retained margin. They're being hit from all sides of the market. The market is very competitive. There's nothing really that is free these days. There's a cost to everything in the marketplace. So the margin is becoming tougher and tougher. So I think from our perspective as Cox Automotive, we have a large footprint within the UK automotive sector, all from the consumer through to inventory, through other areas of the business. So we have digital footprint within the showroom environment. We obviously have Mannheim through auctions and motors in terms of the consumer market and others. And I think really what we're trying to provide is a solution and intelligence to the dealers and try and get them more cost efficient and more time efficient. And that comes from adding solutions and products to them and support them in terms of making their life easier to get to the intelligence they need and make informed decisions. And easy, because these guys are busy. And we prefer them to spend a lot more time on things that they know and they're experts in, and us as a business supply those are the solutions that actually make their life a little bit easier and give them everybody is data hungry, from the consumer to the retailer. Everybody is after data and intelligence, and so we need to deliver the right kind of intelligence and the right level of intelligence to make their life easier and eventually more profitable.
Well, one of the things that dealers typically do a reasonable job at is understanding their own business. They know how many cars sold last month, at what price, they know what sold 3 months ago. They understand things like seasonality within their own stock. What sells well in October might not sell as well in June and vice versa. But one of the things that dealers struggle with is to understand what's going on in the wider market. That's something that a dealer can't understand just with their own data. And if you're a consumer, you're not looking just at an individual dealer stock. You're looking at it within the context of everything that's out there. So it's really important for dealers to understand, how is the market changing? Is there more of a particular type of car available now than there was 30, 60, 90 days ago? How have the prices changed? Have they gone up? Have they gone down? And how long is it taking these cars to sell? To get understanding of sort of supply and demand, dealers need to have that view across the market so they can make the right stocking decisions and also take the right actions for the vehicles that they already have on their forecourt.
In essence, the core thing that we look to do is we look to capitalise on driving footfall into automotive retailers. We do so by working with their existing dealer database. We take a small sample of that, but the most important thing that we do is we train their sales executives how to make an effective, professional brand telephone call to their existing customers. The nature of that is that gives the confidence and the skill to the sales executives. It drives the footfall back into the business for those people. They sell profitable deals, but we then leave that business with a training legacy on how to continue to professionally prospect once we've left that business. That then gives them a model to work to profitably going forward, and hopefully they might invite us back at another time to help them with a little bit of a spike in sales.
Now, of course, other service providers and exhibitors are available, and here are just a few of them.
Well, we run retail sales events for dealers large and small all over the UK, and we provide usually quality direct mail pieces that stimulate an automatic interest with the customers, whether they're in the market or coming up to being in the marketplace, that cause them to make an appointment, register the event and come down to the showroom.
Well, when a customer has their car treated with our Diamond Bite paint protection, it enhances their experience, it keeps the car cleaner for longer, makes it easier to clean, so they have an enhanced experience because the car is easier to clean as time goes on. They also get an aftercare pack with a range of aftercare products which they use, and obviously the products are good. We manufacture them in the UK, so when they use the products, we want them to use them again. We want them to come back to the dealer, preferably to buy them from the dealer. So it's getting them back into the dealership and enhancing the experience.
Okay, so here we have the software and then we have the hardware, the cabinets. So essentially, if I want to find a key, I type in the registration number or just part of the registration number, hit enter, it tells me where the key is. In this situation, it's saying the key's out and it's been out for 5 minutes and it's got it, so I've got the keys here. If I wanted to put the key back, I go to the cabinet, and depending where I park the car is where I put the key. So we've got the colour coding that we normally overlay with a map of the dealership. So I identify myself to the cabinet, so in this case biometrics. Door opens and it knows I've opened the door. I can then put the key back in any position where I park the car. So if I parked it in a new car display, I put it in that section and close the cabinet. The cabinet then records that key's now back in the system.
One of the key things in the motor industry is the fact that churn is very high. Retailers have sales execs coming in, they lose them within the year. One of the most important things that we find is through our assessments and our training is that we're training managers to retain staff, to coach them effectively. We assess everyone against IMI industry standards, which means that these people can move within the industry and have recognised transferable skills.
Within the dealership world, there are multiple applications that dealers are using. We've had research that says there's around 11 different systems that a dealer will use on a day-to-day basis. And dealers are wasting up to 2 hours a day in terms of updating those systems, transferring data from one to another, often in a manual way. At Incadia, we offer a DMS solution that will integrate a number of those, any of those applications and interfaces at any time. It's really important to us that we think a dealer optimises their time doing what they do best, i.e. selling cars, working on cars, selling service and upselling service items, not on admin.
Well, that's it. So many solutions out there, so much choice, my brain's really hurting. Now, if you've got a favourite, as you've seen today, or a favourite technological development that's hit the motor industry this year, then please let us know. Speak to us on Facebook, Twitter or LinkedIn. In the meantime, we'll see you next week on Channel 1.